It's time for Mac Geek Gab, and Shannon, listener Shannon, and also my co-host Shannon with Business Brain, brings us our quick tip of the week by sharing that you can go, if you have a PayPal account, which I think everybody does, you can go and get a year of Perplexity Pro for free. You sign up for a subscription, it gives you a 1-year free trial, and then after that, it will start charging you. But of course, you can cancel before the year is up. Perplexity Pro is a fantastic AI engine. It lets you pull in GPT-05 from OpenAI and Sonnet 4 from Claude in addition to Perplexity's own stuff. So it's a great little engine and gets you all the pro features, and it reduces the rate limits and all that stuff. So we'll put a link in the show notes at macgeekgab.com for that. More tips like this, plus your questions answered today on Mac Geek Gab 1108 for Monday, September 22nd, Hobbit Day 2025. Woo! Greetings, folks, and welcome to Mac Geek Gab, where we share tips like that. We share cool stuff found, which is kind of like that. And we share your questions and sometimes even answer your questions. In fact, hopefully, always, if we can't provide an answer, at least provide some guidance down the troubleshooting path such that we can each learn at least 5 new things every single time we come together here on the show. Our sponsors for this episode include mintmobile.com/MGG, where you can cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month, like Pete and I have done. Barebones.com's BBEdit, one of our favorite apps to use here. Gusto.com/MGG, where you can go to get 3 months free when you run your first payroll with them. And OWC has all kinds of stuff to talk about, including their Thunderbolt 5 portable SSD and more. We'll talk more about all of that in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And here in South Dakota, I'm Adam Christensen.
And here, also in New Hampshire, it's Pilot Pete. Good to be back with you guys on, what'd you call it, Adam? The Sacred Timeline? We're back in linear time here, guys.
Yeah,
what?
The thing about
Loki
this,
reference.
the thing about this is we keep talking about the sacred timeline. Anybody who's listening has stayed on the sacred timeline. There's no reason to talk about it.
Right.
The first rule of the sacred timeline is don't talk about the sacred timeline.
Fair enough. It is now.
It is now. That's right. Yeah, that's a new rule. Make sure to go to macgeekgab.com/giveaway. You still got some time left to sign up for the giveaway that we're doing with Ubiquiti with their Unify Cloud Gateway Fiber, and which is a gateway router, and a U7 Pro XG, which is a wireless access point for a Wi-Fi 7 access point. So yeah, really good stuff. And I'm still trying. I want to win this giveaway. Actually, is really what it comes down to. I want the UCG fiber, but I'm not going to enter. We're going to let one of you win it. So yeah, there you go. I want to win it. I want it. I want it. Yeah. So,
well, James in our YouTube chat is asking, and no, you are not on any mind-altering substance, and we'll last mention of the sacred timeline, I guess. Yes, it is the 12th as we record, and it is the 22nd when you get this, but it's for reasons. Good reasons.
For reasons. Yeah,
we swear.
Reasons, things like that. Yeah, exactly.
No more swearing.
Terry has a great tip for us with iOS 26, and a good reminder that iOS 26 allows you to enable widgets in CarPlay. In fact, it doesn't just allow it, it enables some widgets by default. And the way you get there is by going to the screen, not the screen with all your apps on it, but the screen with like the I don't even know what we call that screen, but it's the one with all the information on it, right? It might have maps at the top and then some other things at the bottom, kind of its own little widgets that it defines. Well, if you're on that screen and you swipe that to the right, so moving to the left of that screen, you will see widgets. And you can customize these widgets if you go into settings, CarPlay or settings, general CarPlay on your iPhone. And what's interesting is your phone knows how big and how wide specifically the screen is in your car. And in some cars will allow you one stack of widgets, and in other cars will allow you two stacks of widgets sitting side by side to each other. So you can have things like music, ring, clock, your weather. I have I think it's Claude AI has a widget that so far hasn't worked. You can tap it and say, start a chat with me, and it won't. It's amazing. It's perfect. It just sits there. But maybe that's just because of the beta. Maybe it will have sorted itself out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Being able to see a weather widget in CarPlay, that's something I've wanted for a long time.
Right.
And yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good. And third-party apps, obviously, based on what we're saying here, maybe it's obvious that they can and have created widgets too. So yeah, fun stuff. I recommend you go check it out. And thanks for the heads up on that, Terry. And thanks for letting us know that you can have multiple stacks of widgets. So what's next?
Should I take us to Todd, I guess?
Yeah.
He wrote in with a really good idea. He uses ChatGPT to search for MGG and or I'm assuming other internet answers as well. He said, just getting back to looking at a dash cam for my car, and I remembered Pete liked one, but on which episode? ChatGPT prompt was, on the Mac Geek Gab podcast, what dash cam does Pilot Pete like? And the response he got was Pilot Pete's preferred dash cam. As mentioned, during the Cool Stuff's Found segment of the Mac Geek Gab episode 1079 aired on March 3, 2025 is the Nextbase Pico 2K dash cam. And summary is episode Cool Stuff Found, monitors dash cams, AI tools, and more. And the whole thing, gave him the whole thing back, but we took him right to where it is. And it even took him down to the 59-minute mark in there, which is where it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So what a great way to search. We've talked about using ChatGPT to search websites for content before, but that was really granular, and that was a super simple prompt, I believe.
I mean, like, what, less than 10 words. On the Mac Geek Gab podcast, what dash cam does Pilot Pete like? That's it. That is pretty amazing. Like, and I know we go out of our way to make sure that the show notes are full of as much data as we can put in there. I'm assuming that helped it in this, but still, like, if I don't know how I would accomplish finding that out, but it would not have been as efficient as what Todd did. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's just amazing that it goes and I bet it did it in under 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Or faster.
Yeah.
Very likely.
Yeah, and that episode just came out. Like, this is current data-ish. I mean, last few months. Yeah.
Yeah, because it used to be that ChatGPT was, only up to like September of last year. Right? Yeah. It couldn't go.
No, it
couldn't do the research it does now.
Yeah.
So
pretty amazing. Yep. We'll have more. There's what's that? What's that, Adam?
Data. I just said data.
It's data. Yeah, exactly. It knows how to crunch. It is so good at crunching data. Yeah. And we'll say this. There's a couple other topics coming up where this will also be relevant, but confirm, which of course you could do and see that answer is correct. But at the very least, asking chat if it matters. At the very least, asking ChatGPT, "Are you sure?" can be a very valuable prompt. So
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody that uses it every day for many things. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Joe has something for us. Joe says, so I've used Apple Maps on my iPhone since it came out and on the Mac since it came out, but only today did I learn a new thing about it. Sometimes you want to create a unique trip that Maps by itself will not self-route. I usually do this on the Mac for the larger screen, but I've been frustrated that while you can share a trip to the iPhone, it will only share the destination, it seems, but not your custom routing, meaning you have to do the work again on your iPhone. Needless to say, a pain. Solution? Well, it's built in, and I never realized it before today. On Maps on macOS, the left side panel shows recents. I had always thought this contained only places, but looking today, I noticed that it had multiple recent plans there too, from 5 different routes I had tried. Moving over to the iPhone, voila, the same 5 plans are there. I only had to pick the last one, and I was all set. So while I lamented not having a method to share a plan, Apple made it easier to just save in my recent plans instead. Who knew? Obviously, you know it once you know it, but special routes, not even ever traveled, never occurred to me to be in that panel. Hopefully this helps someone as it stumped me. Joe from Raleigh.
That's a good one. I like it. Yep.
Yeah.
And that gets even better in iOS 26 too, where you can set your custom routes. Yeah, I know. It's great. Man, a lot of times when I'm creating, this is a new tip, by the way. I stumbled onto something when I'm creating episode images for my Gig Gab podcast where I have guests all the time. I have had listeners ask, hey, instead of coming up with some quirky image, can you just put the guest's photo in the episode image? Because when I'm listening, I like to see I want to visualize this person whose voice I'm hearing, and we do record video for it. Although not most people like this show, most people listen to the audio, not the video, and that's fine. So I have video of this person in the moment that they were talking about this, what they looked like that day. And what I would do is I would open up the video in QuickTime Player and take a screenshot of it, and try and first I would scrub to a good spot so they didn't look like, somebody with their mouth half open and drooling or whatever. But, I get to a good screen of them, and then I would do a screenshot. But I would always make my window as big as I could make it so that the screenshot was the highest resolution I could get. And I thought, isn't this dumb that I think I asked one of the AIs, probably ChatGPT, maybe Claude, and said, hey, is there a way that I can just save a screen grab? And it was like, well, yeah, in QuickTime Player, just hit Command-C. That will copy a full resolution screen grab of that to your clipboard. So that's the tip. Is if you want to grab a screenshot of a movie in ChatGPT, just hit Command-C, and it will copy that as a PNG to your clipboard that you can use, wherever you want to use it. So I had no idea that, obviously, that this was a thing, and it's so much easier. So, learn something new. Yeah. Or you learn 5 somethings new, which is even better. So, yep.
Bingo.
Yepper. All right.
Well,
go.
Ben wrote in, and he had a whole bunch of cool stuff for us, but I was looking through, and I went, oh, he writes, in show 1090, you explored Jed's quandary about making a focus automation that triggers when on a phone call. He said, Pete seemed to suggest he got it to work. I did, I swear. My experimentation failed. In my testing, I found that phone calls on the iPhone are not part of the phone app, so setting a phone in focus mode wouldn't let me help. Are you sure you found a way to do this? And I did. So here's how I get my phone to change to on a call. You go to Settings, Focus, and then you tap the little plus up in the top corner there, and I titled mine On a Call. Then I tapped Add Schedule. Then I selected the app and scrolled down and selected Phone. And then you can customize what you allow to gain your attention when the phone app is open and on top. So I made it universal across all my devices, but that's how I got it to I think I only allow messages to come through when I'm on a phone call. Other than that, I'm not getting dings from Discord or Slack or anything like that. It's just, that way if someone's like one of my kids or something is trying to get a hold of me and I'm on a phone call, I'll still get notifications of that. But so that's how I got it to work with the phone app on top.
You could just add people instead of apps. You could
Very
add
good
people to
point.
the allowed list, right? That way, it's only your kids or who you select can get through to you, and the rest is it's not like if me or Adam has something stupid to say in our group chat. Well,
there's that.
maybe that's not the most important thing while you're on the phone. So, yeah.
But
Yeah.
What I use my VIP group for.
Yes, yeah, the VIP group is very good for that. When Apple announced focus modes, I mean, you can go back and listen to the episodes that summer, between Dub and iOS release, whatever that year was, and I just was like, I was down. I'm like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Now my entire life is like hinges upon being in the right focus mode. Really makes a difference. So yeah. Yep. I'm still eager. I know we did it 6 or 8 months ago, but if anybody has a focus mode that you're using, send it in, feedback@macgeekgab.com. We love to share these ideas.
Hold on. Where should they send it? Did you say feedback@macgeekgab.com?
He sure did, Pete. Feedback@macgeekgab.com.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Sorry, folks. We have to do it.
Adam, your delivery on that. It has evolved greatly in the last 2 years, and I'm here for it. I mean, I've been here for it, but I'm here for more of it. So, all right, another quick tip.
Get us to I don't know if this is our last one or not.
But, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Data for nothing and the bits for free says, love it. The handle here. I know the HP multifunction printer discussion was about old printers, but it is worth mentioning that any future printer purchases should always be for printers that support AirPrint. With AirPrint, the user never needs to install bloated vendor drivers, and AirPrint support will continue working after the vendor stops supporting the printer.
Yeah. That's some good advice right there.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Apple has future-proofed many, many printers by rolling out that tech, and I'm here for that too. All right, we have some cool stuff found. We have some cool stuff made to talk about, which I love even more than cool stuff found. And that's when one of you makes something and tells us about it, and then we'll tell everybody about it because that's cool. The next thing that I am here for, and we're all here for, is to talk about our sponsors. Because, here on Mac Geek Gab, we're all about avoiding unnecessary expenses, right? Don't get caught paying more than you have to, right? That's why I switched to Mint Mobile for my wireless service with my mobile phone, with my iPhone, back in December of 2020. And the only thing I wish is that I didn't do it sooner. I'd already heard about Mint 2 years earlier. They'd started sponsoring the show 2 years earlier. And if I had made the switch then, I would have saved even more money than I already have. Mint's favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Just premium wireless for as low as $15 a month with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text, all on the nation's largest 5G network. I use it, and I absolutely love it. Pete uses it. He absolutely loves it. It works great. I even kept my number on my phone when I switched, of course. So easy. Are you ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/MGG. That's mintmobile.com/MGG. And please use our link so that you get the deal and we get the recognition for referring you. And that's good for everybody, right? There's an upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. That's how the math works. Limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigs on their unlimited plan. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. And our thanks to Mint Mobile for sponsoring this episode. And if you're like us, and I know you are, you've got fast drives and you want fast access. And that's where OWC's Express 1M2 80G enclosure comes in. This thing's a total game changer for high-speed portable storage, right? With Thunderbolt 4, USB 4 support, and up to 80 gigabits per second, it unleashes the full potential of all your NVMe SSDs. What that means? Real world speeds up to 3,700 megabytes per second. Yeah, I said bytes. That's fast enough for 4K, 8K, even 12K workflows, or just moving your massive photo library in seconds instead of minutes. It's bus-powered, pocket-sized, and it includes a USB 4 cable right there in the box. So whether you're editing video on the go or just want crazy fast storage for your Mac for whatever reason, don't get caught with slow gear. Go check it out at macsales.com or click the link in the show notes or the email that we send out with the show notes in it so that you get right to the page for the OWC Express 1M2 80G enclosure. You're going to love this thing. And our thanks to OWC for sponsoring this episode. All right. Some cool stuff made, right, Adam?
Cool stuff made. Yeah, Barry's got something really cool for us. He said, in a recent episode, you were talking about creating apps and programming in AI. This time last year, I wanted to create an app that would scrape stock data for Apple at device launch. It helps contributing being a contributing member of the Apple UK community Discord to check on stock at launch of devices to see the nearest stores that have stock available on specific models. Luckily, we already had an app for it called Inventory Watch. The authors of the app have decided that they would not be adding any more devices from the 8th of September, I'm assuming forward. So a few weeks ago, I started looking at Node and JavaScript and using both ChatGPT and Claude and have created a completely multilingual worldwide stock tracker for Apple Store pickup. It has taken a long time with prompting and massaging the data, but to write from scratch would have been impossible for my abilities. There are scripts that run every night that refresh the stores and product data, and the stock check is performed live. Go check it out, and he's providing the link, and we'll have that in the show notes to his stock tracker. Thinking about an app wrapper next, but highly unlikely it would be allowed in the App Store. Anyways, great listen each week. Thanks, Barry.
This is pretty cool. You just get to see it. It checks stock. It's really well done. Amazing. Love this. And even if the app wouldn't be approved in the store, you could still create the iOS app and just install it on your own phone and share it with your friends with Test Flight too. So that is a possibility. This what a great thing. We were talking about this pre-show too, just the idea of what's called vibe coding, which is essentially what this is. I like the term, AI assisted coding, just because it sounds better, but it's the same thing. I did an interesting thing this week, vibe coding some stuff with Claude. I have Claude Sonnet 4 as my AI engine linked to VS Code because it's all kind of integrated into one. And I was modifying a script, and then I had Claude Sonnet 4 in its own bespoke window, and I knew that what it was doing in VS Code wasn't complete enough. And so I was taking the results from that and feeding it into essentially itself, but in a different instance, and asking it to check its own work and going back and forth with it like that. And it worked really well. Like I finally got it there, but it took longer than it should have. And then I finally realized, as I said before, asking it, "Are you sure?" in the main window was enough to kind of do the same thing. But it needed a lot of prodding to get something relatively simple done. I basically said, the logic that we have in this script is not the most robust, but we've already got the same logic in another script that's robust. Can you just basically integrate that over to here? And it took it longer than it should have, but it was still like 10 minutes and then it was done. So, get back and forth. But it needed, I say it was AI assisted programming. Maybe what that was Dave assisted programming for the AI agent, because it was doing the work. I was its assistant. I was its manager, if you will. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Fun stuff. You said you've done some stuff with AI assisted coding too, right, Adam? A little bit?
Oh, I'm doing it more and more.
Okay.
For me, I think I mentioned one of the more common uses is when I encounter a piece of code or I'm going through some documentation. One of the things I have to do a lot in my job is deal with a lot of new third-party APIs, basically, to integrate things.
Yeah.
And documentation usually stinks most of the time. So when I'm not understanding something, I'll take example code or something and say, hey, this is from this API or whatever. Can you help explain this to me? Or can you give me more information about ABC? Or like, it's unclear how to do XYZ. Can you, and that usually works really, really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah.
I use it a lot as a quicker learning tool. Especially for something that's like brand new, and I don't even have coworkers that have even like worked with that API before,
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great. I said AI assisted coding. Really what we're talking about is AI assisted living. It's
right.
Changes that's maybe the twist on some things there. Is that
one more that's kind of a tip, and this came up recently, and I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but I'm using it a lot for like sussing out and getting a bigger picture or a bigger understanding of things that people will tweet or post and just to expand my knowledge. So, again, I don't want to get too far down this path, right?
Yeah.
But the world's very divisive, and people
Sure.
say a lot of flippant things or quick things across the board on social media. And
I think it's what social media is for, Adam. No.
So I'll be like, I wonder if that's true. And so I will plug that in and say, hey, is this really happen?
Yeah.
And then more importantly, the answer will come back often. Yeah, here's and it'll bring references, and it's like, well, can you help further explain this? Or this doesn't seem accurate, or can you provide, the big one for me was, can you provide more context to this? Right? Because those things are often missing a lot of context. And ChatGPT will do a great job to like, yep, here's the context, here's how people are interpreting it. It provides a lot of extra information very, very quickly. And it's the kind of stuff I would always do. I never take anything anybody says across the board at face value. I do my own. I want to do my own research. I want to form my own opinions, and it's really helpful in that. I've discovered.
I have started to use it when we get a new potential sponsor coming in, right? Again, something that I've always done, but now way easier here. I ask one of the engines, are there any potential third rails that about this brand or product or whatever that I want to be aware of before choosing whether or not to take this company as a sponsor, right? Have they been involved in data breaches, or are they canceled for some reason? Like I want to know. Sometimes it's like, well, it's okay. I believe in the brand and like, but eyes wide open.
It's good to be aware. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll offer briefly that I've used it recently for, it does so much nicer work than I can when I wanted to create a web page for a squadron dinner that we're doing and a reunion. And it lists the people, it did a countdown timer, and did beautiful graphics for me. It was so much above my basic HTML coding capabilities.
Yeah.
And
all right. Well, we've done it. So share with us
how you can share
how do you use it? I was going to say you can share the prompts with us, like Todd did earlier, and that's great. But more generalized, how are you using it? Because this discussion here, I know there are people out there that are saying, wait, I never even thought to use it for that. I didn't think it could be used for that, but more, I never thought to use it for that. Right. And so that's, we can help each other with that stuff too. So, all right. I came up with an episode image for AI assisted living, and I'm not sure we can use it, but I'll put it in the Discord. Yeah, it's fun, but there might be some third rails in it. Maybe we just don't want to publish that. But anyway, I'll put it in the thing. But anyway, moving on to more cool stuff found, shall we?
We shall. So there we go. All right. I just realized I had not opened Discord, and so I went to do it as I was trying to read the note, and it disappeared behind Discord on me. But I found David's note. He writes in and he says, I highly recommend GoodSync. Well, that's one word, GOODSYNC. A sync app that I bought, actually I would say subscribed to for $19.90 annually. He says, despite my MacBook Air M2's limited 256 gig storage, I've always saved my work to Google Drive with 1 terabyte included with my Google Fiber Internet account, Microsoft OneDrive, 1 terabyte with Microsoft 365, and Apple Storage for photos. Setting up GoodSync was straightforward, syncing my critical files between Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, and Apple Storage. Time Machine also backs up downloaded files on the Mac. While I don't need additional backup, I ensure proper file management to prevent overwriting or deletion. The simple left side, right side interface was helpful. And speaking of sending in how you use ChatGPT, David writes, I used ChatGPT to set up the jobs as I'm a techie wannabe. For others, the multiple iCloud or cloud storage accounts, GoodSync is an excellent choice. So there we have our first.
Yeah.
Here's how I used it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that looks pretty cool. There were some other ones. I forget. It was like Cloud Mounter or something like that. But GoodSync looks far more efficient at doing that. At managing this.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Are we up to Andrew here?
Yeah, Andrew has a cool thing for us. He says, hi there. It's been a bit of coverage of alternative Find My tracking devices lately. I picked up the UGreen AirTags and cards recently, and they work just fine. Both are on Amazon and a third cheaper than AirTags. And so he has one that's like a keyring, and then there's a card thing that I presume goes in your wallet. Yeah, these look pretty cool.
They do look pretty cool, and it like this keyring one. I mean, it's flat. You don't have it. It's essentially like a an AirTag itself, right? I mean, it's right. Square, but other than that, it has a little loop in the corner that you could put on your keychain, but you could also just put it in your pocket. Like it's not going to be a bulky keychain like thing unless you want it to be, unless you want to hang it on a keychain. But it's $10. Like that's a pretty good price here. Yeah. And the wallet card, where I like the wallet card is my backpack has a little pocket for like cash, like a semi-hidden pocket for cash or your passport or that kind of stuff. It's not RFID shielded, which is important. And I use one of these cards in there. I don't have the UGreen one. I wasn't aware of that until now, but it's flat, so it sits in there nicely and just kind of stays out of the way. So that's another good use.
And it has a rechargeable battery. I wonder how long the battery life is on it.
Oh,
which is cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice catch. Yeah, $22, but a rechargeable battery. Okay. One charge can last up to 12 months.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh?
And that's huge, especially for the card, because most of the cards were disposable.
Right.
Prior to this.
Prior to this year, yeah. There's been a couple of others that have done the rechargeable thing. Yeah. But that one's rechargeable. No, it's right. It's not. Yeah, we have enough e-waste. Just yeah. And I'm gonna have more. My the thermostat, the Nest thermostat that I use here in the studio, is going offline in just a little over a month. Because I have a first gen Nest thermostat in the studio. It works fine for me, and I won't be able to use its cloud services anymore. I can use it like a dumb thermostat after like October 25th. So
that's an awful expensive dumb thermostat.
Yeah.
Bane of my e-waste existence is these stupid Ember coasters.
Oh yeah.
I love my Ember mug, but these things break. I've gone through 4 of them now. Because they have this stupid design where they have these little pins that push in and up and down, and one will get stuck down, and then it's done. It's like you can't open it, you can't repair it, not easily. It's just like, I don't know why they haven't moved to some sort of wire, why it has to still be a physical contact and not.
Yeah.
I mean, because the bottom's got rubber anyway, so why can't it just be a wireless?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, e-waste. It's an unfortunate reality. Yep. I'm trying to think if there's any other e-waste to talk about. I'm sure there is. But what we will do instead is share Tom's cool stuff found here because this one is interesting. We talked in 1106 when we were dissecting and reacting to Apple's awe-dropping announcement, right? That this idea of shooting with both cameras doesn't seem to be limited to iPhones 17. And sure enough, many of you wrote in with different apps that can do this. Double take seems to be a good one, and it works with iOS 26, at least the final build of it before release. But it's called Double Take Multicam Video. And it works on my iPhone 16 with the iOS 26 betas or release candidate, I guess. And it lets you capture both cameras simultaneously, and you can even choose how you want it: split screen, picture in picture, double shot, right? And it'll do up to 4K 60 FPS. So there you go. And I think it is not, you can download it for free and test it for a week for free. But then you get a subscription that is a weekly of $1.50, or you can do a year for $20. So
yeah.
Yep. You don't need to buy a new iPhone if that's the only feature you want. So yep. Double take. Thanks for that, Tom. Love that. Good stuff. All right. We are moving, and I love that for all of us here. We have some of your questions to dissect and answer and all of that fun stuff. So we're going to do that. The next thing that we're going to do is talk about our sponsor. Because let's be real, nobody starts a business because they love dealing with payroll, right? Well, unless you're going to start a payroll business. But I didn't, and I don't think you did either. And that's where Gusto, our sponsor, comes in, because they did start a payroll business, right? They'll take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so that you can focus on doing the geeky things that you do love. Gusto is online payroll and benefits software built for small businesses. It's all in one, remote friendly, and incredibly easy to use, so you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. I was talking to a listener who uses Gusto, and they say that the time that Gusto has saved them is amazing. Direct deposits just happen, tax filings handled, and when they need to onboard a new team member, it's all there. Offer letters, compliance docs, the works, no hidden fees, unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price. It's built for small businesses, and it feels that way. And you can join this other Mac Geek Gab listener in getting on board. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/MGG and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/MGG. One more time, gusto.com/MGG. And remember, when it comes to managing your business, especially the boring parts, don't get caught doing it the hard way. Use Gusto, and our thanks to Gusto for sponsoring this episode. And don't get caught also means not being caught without the right tool for the job. Well, if you work with text on your Mac, even a little bit, you need BBEdit. Version 15.5 is out, and it's packed with the kind of improvements that make your fingers faster and your brain happier. The thing flies now, right? Even when you're dealing with massive files or running complex grep searches. If those don't scare you, they scare me, but I'm getting better with them. It's got new Git tools, better markdown folding, support for Apple Intelligence's writing tools, and even FTPS for securely editing files on remote servers. One of my favorite new additions, strip diacriticals, right? One click and voila, no more accented characters when you need clean ASCII. And don't sleep on the classics. ChatGPT worksheets, language server protocol support, custom cheat sheets, and even a note system to replace all those cluttered, untitled documents. It's the Swiss Army knife for text. Try it free for 30 days at barebones.com. And if you're upgrading from a pre-14 version, your eval resets. Go to barebones.com and grab BBEdit 15.5 today, because when it comes to working with text, don't get caught with anything less. And our thanks to BBEdit for sponsoring this episode. All right, let's do some questions, shall we?
Get to some questions. Yeah, Steve has one for us. He says, "Don't judge me, but I'm going to order an iPhone Air for dinners out because it's kind of stylish, and I'll use a 17 Pro Max for my daily driver. Is there a quick way to swap my eSIM back and forth between two phones? Like I'd be doing this a couple times a week."
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing in judgment. I think it's great. I mean, I'm someone who owns an Apple Watch Ultra 2 and also, a bunch of mechanical watches that I put on when I go out to dinner. Like it totally makes sense. If you can do it, enjoy. Like absolutely enjoy. That's great. So I thought I knew the answer to this, and I'm glad I checked, because I would have been wrong. I thought this was impossible. And it might be, depending on your carrier and how you have things, but it also might be very possible. There is eSIM quick transfer. And here in the United States, we'll link to a web page on Apple's site that details more of this. But here in the United States, eSIM quick transfer is supported by AT&T, PureTalk, T-Mobile, and Verizon. It's also possible that Xfinity Mobile and US Cellular support some version of eSIM transfer from phone to phone. But I don't think it's what Apple calls quick transfer, where you can literally have the two devices near each other and initiate the transfer in settings, and it just heads over. So I think there's a world where you can do this. It's as far as I think the three of us are aware, it's uncharted territory in Mac Geek Gab land.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. But it seems like with the right carrier, this is doable. Apple has, implemented what's necessary in software. There are some carriers, though, where once the eSIM is bound to a device, that's it. That eSIM will never be able to move to another device again. And I've certainly experienced that with like all the data only eSIMs that I buy. Once right. They tell you, look, are you ready to activate this? Because if you are, you're not going to be moving it around. Like to choose the right device. Make sure you do this on your phone, et cetera, et cetera. And as you know, I did not change my mind, at least not yet. I have not ordered a new phone. I really, for some reason, I'm finding myself tempted by the iPhone 17 Pro in that copper color. I don't know.
The orange is gorgeous.
The orange is gorgeous. Yeah, exactly. So, that might happen. I'm just going to be fully candid about this. But at the moment, so I haven't switched to anything or anything like that. And I haven't done it, but when I did my switch last year with Mint Mobile, my phone offered to do the eSIM transfer, and then it said no. And I had to just launch the Mint app on my new phone and tell it I had to effectively, quote unquote, buy a new eSIM, but you get like 2 a year for free or 1 a year, a number of them a year for free as part of your Mint plan. So just like, okay, well, I'm just buying it. And it deactivated the one that was on my old phone at the time, and it all worked fine. But evidently, if the carrier supports quick transfer, Steve, you might be in luck, man. And if you're not in luck, Kiwi Graham in the chat says if both phones are logged into the same iCloud account, you could do the calls on other devices thing and get calls there, but you'd have to have your other phone nearby in order to have you'd have to hotspot to your other phone. So that would be the other way. It's
plus in your wife's purse.
Exactly. We're making a lot of assumptions here, but sure.
Well,
True.
Yeah.
There.
That's what I do.
Wouldn't it be funny to be out on like a first date if Steve were to do that and say like, hey, we're here. Look, I don't want to have two phones in my pocket. So can you just hold this for me? Because I want to look fancy with my other phone. So there you go.
Don't forget to give it to me before you run to the bathroom and ditch me.
That's right. Yeah, that too. Right. Yeah, exactly.
You could use a armband under your jacket or something, like an armband case, like for working out,
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Have that under your jacket or something like
that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it seems like it's doable. Yeah. So that's what I got. All right. Moving. Do we have anything more on this one, or are we moving on to Father John?
We're moving on.
Okay. Where is Father John's
keep this
question?
show rolling.
We are keeping this show rolling. Did I not move Father John's question into? Is it not there?
Oh, it's bound to be there somewhere.
It's got to be there somewhere.
I saw it.
Did I accidentally move it? No, it's right. Oh, I see what I did to it.
Near the bottom.
Yeah. Okay, now the sausage is being made in real time. Father John asks, hey guys, I have 3 items stuck in my Mac's trash can. They are com.apple.siriactionsd, com.apple.workflowkit background shortcut runner, and com.apple.workflowkit background shortcut runner with a timestamp. They won't delete. Here are the things I've tried. First, I saw that there was not a put them back option in the menu in the Finder. In trying to empty the trash, I get the dialog. The operation can't be completed because the item, com.apple.siriactionsd, is in use. I hit continue, and nothing happens. I hold down the option key with empty trash. I get the same. I boot into safe mode and try to empty the trash. Same. Other things I have tried to do. I've gone into the terminal. Sudo rm-r followed by a space. But do not press enter yet. Of course, yes, drag the files in from the Finder so that I am absolutely telling it to do that. The file path appears. It is correct. Press enter. Nothing happened. My Mac won't do this. Any ideas on this, Adam?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Great.
I would try doing exactly the same rmrf command, but before doing that, boot into safe mode to do it.
Yeah.
So shut down the Mac, go into safe mode with the shift key, safe boot, and try that. You could also do the same thing, but in the recovery mode, right? Where you've gone into the recovery mode, and then you can pull up the terminal there, because then you're not like booted into, like, the operating system isn't running, probably doing whatever it is with those files. You could also do some investigation as to exactly what is like locking those things up by using the lsof list open files command. And then piping that through like a grep command to check out what those files are doing, and then try doing a sudo kill to kill the whatever background service or process might be locking those up. Trying to think of anything else. Those were the kind of, I guess maybe a third-party trash cleaner app like Onyx or Clean My Mac.
Yep. In our live chat in the Discord, Kiwi Graham says recovery terminal should be good, and he, like the rest of us, laments the removal of single user mode. But
right.
But yeah, that I had forgotten that there was a terminal available in recovery mode. And that is, you were spot on about that, Adam. Like that, because the drive is not mounted. It is not, nothing is running from the drive yet, and therefore you can delete files on it as though it's like just another drive, not a boot drive. So that would be I think that's the key. Yeah. Tricky. Really tricky. But I think you nailed it. I think you got it.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that one had me stumped as soon as he said, I use terminal and it didn't work. I'm like, huh. I thought sudo did everything. So
Well, it can't delete a file that's in use like that. I mean, yeah.
I think I did a little digging on this, and I think it sounds like what happens with a lot of these types of files is it's some sort of caching that has been removed, but then the operating system is still kind of looking to recreate it or find it, or in a lot of cases. So that's what's kind of happening, is it like it thinks the file's still being used, or it's doing processing behind it. And so that's what's causing it to not allow you to delete it. And it's usually more background things. It's not like you have an app open or with the file open or something like that. It's some sort of background process that's doing something similar. So I think that's also why you don't get any kind of prompt of, hey, this is in use. It's just like when you run the sudo command, it's just like, nothing happens.
Yeah, we're not going to touch that one today. Thanks, though. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Yep.
That takes us to Joe's question.
Please.
Yeah. So Joe writes in, good evening, gentlemen, and Pete. I heard that, Joe.
Yeah.
Just writing for help on using TailScale to route Netflix traffic through the exit node on my Apple TV. I have configured the TailScale app on my Apple TV and my iPad, and I'm really confused about what to do next. When I open the TailScale app, I see the two devices, which is all I have set up. The iPad shows active, which I can turn off. I see the Apple TV, but no idea how to route the traffic through the exit node. Any suggestions or sources to read up on this would be awesome. Thanks for everything. Love the show, Joe in Florida. Then he wrote a quick follow-up. I have the app on the Apple TV running as an exit node. I went into the dashboard to set up the routing to use Apple TV as an exit node. How do I ensure that the iPad traffic or another Apple TV, once added, are running through the exit node?
And you answered your first question.
Yep.
But I just want to highlight that in order to, so TailScale, we've talked about it a bunch on the show. It is essentially creating your own wide area network of just your devices. So it's like taking the best of what happens on your local network and making it happen when your devices are distributed to all parts. They could be local, they could be distributed, all over the world, as long as they have an internet connection. TailScale generally works. I'm sure there's ways of filtering
There's
it.
Some serious magic going on there.
Well, yeah, it's using WireGuard, but the idea of an exit node means taking all of your traffic and routing it through one device so that it seems like you are coming from that IP, right? And that can be helpful, especially with an Apple TV, for things like, Fubo or YouTube TV or Netflix. If you want everybody to be coming from the same location, that can be valuable. And the Apple TV, at least the current one, supports things that way because the only way you geolocate it is by IP address. So when you can enable an exit node in the settings for a device, and then you have to go into the dashboard for TailScale on the web and turn it on. And that's what he was saying that he did. So that's step 1. Step 2 then is let's say, you've got your exit node running on your Apple TV. Great. Now you take your iPad and launch the TailScale app. And once you connect to TailScale, at that point, you should see a big block at the top of the window that says that shows exit nodes, and it will list all of the devices that you've successfully configured as exit nodes, and it will have a big button that says enable, and you just tap that button, and now you are running through that exit node, and of course, then the button will change from enable to disable, and you can use it that way too. So you can use TailScale with or without an exit node, and you have that choice on the device. But then once it's enabled, and he sent in some more follow-ups for, his, how can his kids also use this, when they're at college, which is a great use of that. We do it with our kids, one on the other side of New Hampshire, one on the other side of the planet, and they all get to, as far as any of our services are concerned, their Apple TVs are in our house here in New Hampshire. But once that's enabled, visiting, and this you would do on your iPhone or something once you connect to an exit node, visit whatismyip.com, right? And see, does it report the same IP address that you have at home, or is it reporting whatever IP address your iPhone is on? And that's a good, easy way to test to see, is it working and all of that. I do have a note about this, though. I've mentioned put your Apple TV like we have, and our kids have them in their respective homes, and it all funnels through, and everything works great. And that, as I said, is because IP address is the only way the Apple TV has of reporting its location. So once you're running through the exit node, everything works fine. However, your iPhone has other ways of reporting its location. Some iPads have ways of reporting their location with GPS. So if you have a GPS capable device, all iPhones are GPS capable. Cellular iPads have GPS in them. It's possible and even likely that the makers of the apps like Netflix or YouTube, especially with YouTube TV, will be able to use Apple's location APIs and get your location from the GPS, and then that bypasses any IP address rerouting that you're doing. TailScale works great, as I said, to kind of spoof your location with another Apple TV or another Mac, right? Because Macs don't have GPS circuits, at least not any that we've seen yet, But and non-Wi-Fi only iPads, yes. But otherwise, this might not work as well as you would want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have personal experience with that, especially with YouTube TV. It knows if you're out of your location. Doesn't matter how you try to route the traffic. It knows.
Yeah. Does it know on your Mac or only on?
I think for some reason I seem to recall that it didn't even work on the Mac. My solution to that was Channels DVR.
Oh yeah.
So I had Channels DVR set up on a Mac Mini in my basement, and then I watched my TV from around the world on the Channels DVR.
Yeah.
The thing is, you got to remember, YouTube is Google.
Yeah, they
Google knows where you are no matter what.
It's true. It's true. Kiwi Graham in the chat is saying that some certain apps also notice time zone differences. Yeah. I mean, I can't blame them. Like, it's like we are dancing across the line of possibly dancing across the line of terms of service. For any of these here, I haven't read through it yet. You could ask ChatGPT to read through it for you if you want.
That's the one device I did always lock to Eastern Time Zone. Was my laptop, so that I knew whether when I was calling Mama, was it at 2 a.m. or or 2 p.m, that sort of thing. But that's the other thing that's so frustrating, though. It seems to me that you're paying for the service. It shouldn't matter if I'm in a van in Japan with a 1-hour ride to the airport and I want to watch some football because it's Sunday afternoon at home, that I can't watch it because, I'm not home. But I paid for the service. Terms of service.
Yep. You paid for a service. Yes.
Yeah. Not quite the same, but I'll take us on maybe what might be our first tangent of this show, but it's quasi-related. I don't think I've asked you guys, how do you feel about the new Amazon Prime change to only free shipping to your home single address?
Ooh, I missed that.
It's less about how I feel about it, Adam, and more how my kids and even my dad, because when we were all, there was about a year as my dad was sort of migrating up to New Hampshire here. It was a long story, but he lived with us for about a year. And at that point in time was when Prime came out. This was that long ago. And so I put everybody in the house, all 5 of us, on my Amazon Prime. And my kids have enjoyed that everywhere that they've lived. And now they won't be able to. I think they can do the add-on thing for the first year. I think it's only like $15 or something. And then after that, it's $15 a month. So,
Oof.
Yeah. It basically get your own Prime account. So they're softening the blow. Yeah.
Oh, my daughter's not going to like that. She uses ours a lot.
Yes.
In Florida. So,
yeah.
But I think she's moving home. So that's good for us.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So Explain this, Adam, for people. You asked the question, which had some explanation, but yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know a ton about it because it came from my kids. They were the first to report it back to us. It's like, did you hear Amazon's going to only let you get your free Amazon Prime shipping to your primary, basically your home address, your account address, and you can't, other people can't use it to get the free shipping, even if they're ordering on your account. So, it's a change. I didn't know. I thought they might do an add-on thing. So that's nice to hear they are doing something there. But yeah, you're right. Essentially, they're saying, all right, no more free rides on on Amazon Prime. If you're a dependent of somebody, you got to get your own. Or not even a dependent, an independent, because my kids are independent now.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it's actually good. It's like, all right, it's time to grow up and get your own Prime account now, kids.
What? Just so as I've had this conversation with some people, I don't think many people noticed that what we did. We never gave our kids our my Amazon login. I just invited them into my Amazon Prime. So my wife also got this email, right? She has her own Amazon account, as do my kids, as does my dad, and all four of them got this email saying, you're not going to be able to do this. It's going to cost you, blah, 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 blah. And my wife's like, what the hell? Like, we live in the same house. And then they issued a correction to my wife. So she was sent the notice erroneously.
Gotcha.
That she, because she texted me the next day. She's like, by the way, it's going to be okay. I'm like, yeah, I know. I saw the coverage. I knew it was going to be okay. It's going to be fine. But yeah, it's starting October 1st. Anyone who is who you've invited as part of your Prime that doesn't live with the account holder, you would need to sign up for your own subscription, and you get a $14.99 rate for 1 year, and then it's $14.99 a month after that. So it's a transitional thing. So $14.99 for a year is great for Amazon Prime, by the way. So
Well, now you just gave me a tip that I don't need to use because it's a moot point, but the number of times I get a text from my kid logging into Amazon, can you send me the login?
The 2FA code. Yeah. I say I don't share our Amazon login. I do for my kids' televisions, because even when you share Amazon Prime, some of the benefits, including, well, up until recently, free shipping, were shared, and they got those with their own accounts, but they did not get Amazon Prime Video with their own accounts. So I wonder if once they pay their $14.99, do they then get their own Amazon Prime Video? That's the part I need. I'll figure that out this weekend with my kids. Yeah.
Sounds like
I think they might.
Yeah,
I think they're getting Prime. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It used to be 90 or 99. I have no idea what we're paying. What are we paying now for Amazon Prime?
I think it's
$129 maybe.
Yeah. I forget what the price is. I just pay it.
Right.
It is applauded by the industry as the most successful loyalty program in existence.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it. It just, you're easily saving that in shipping alone if you order, more than once a month.
But you're also going, like, the reason they call it a loyalty program is because you're paying for it, you order from Amazon primarily. That's why it's called Amazon Prime.
Yep. Yeah.
That's for them. We made
right
Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Boy,
that's really smart. Like, Yep.
Yeah. They designed that one.
They sure did. They hit it out of the park with that. And a few other things, it turns out. But
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought they were just a bookstore.
Really smart.
Right.
Man. Really smart.
Amazing.
All right. We got
thanks
one
to
more.
James?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. James writes in with a question. He says, hi, Dave, Pete, and Adam. My question, have you thought about what to do with your photos to ensure future generations can access them? I'm dealing with this right now. My father-in-law passed away in June. Our condolences, James. And I've been downloading his photos from his computer. I'm not sure what to do next. I put them in Photos app / iCloud, set up a shared album, and put them on a NAS, or should I put them in the Photos app iCloud, set up a shared album, and then put them on a NAS or something else? I even wonder if I should save everything before digital families shared albums, pick their favorites, and pass them down. Now we take thousands of photos, which makes it hard to decide what to keep and how to make sure future family members can access them. I'd love to hear what you're doing or planning to do to preserve your photos for your kids and grandkids. Thanks again for the show and for all you've done to help us listeners over the years. Cheers, James.
James came over from MacCast too.
Yeah.
I guess he was a listener of both. I'm reading some of his stuff. Yeah. So he says it feels like my two favorite shows came together. I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a kind of reverse nod to Brewster's Millions and say D, all of the above instead of none of the above. The answer is yes. All of those things you should do, and I do with my photos as well. So I have them in iCloud, photos with, and what's nice there is you can share albums with your family members on your family iCloud, at least your immediate families, right? Yep. So you have that capability. But then they're in the cloud. They're also in your iPhoto library. I mean, legacy-wise, another thing to do, just as an aside, is make sure that you set up and made a plan with your family members and they know where this stuff is, right? And they have an ability to get access to it. Apple, you can sign up for their program where, once you pass, you can designate somebody. I forget what they call it. You can designate a person who can take control of your iCloud account, or get access to your iCloud account so they can get your digital legacy stuff there. So that's important. But yeah, I mean, back them up to the cloud, back them up to a NAS, and I would say back them up to something local. That's almost like your digital version of your shoebox that we used to use. Like, I still have a ton of photos that are in a shoebox, and this is a whole nother project that I need to do, is go use one of the services like, where you send in all your stuff and have it digitized. I still haven't done that. Your physical media. But I mean, to me, that's basically what you're doing, is you're creating this digital shoebox that someone can grab. And obviously or maybe not so obviously, but another important part of this, and I think you allude to this a little bit too, is that format shifting. You have to stay on top of, if you've thrown it onto a USB-C SSD or something like that, and we suddenly move to holographic wireless cube storage and USB-C goes away, there is a point where you're not going to be able to plug a USB-C thing into anything, right? And who knows when that is, but we've seen it happen years and years. Like, if you have some data on a SCSI drive, good luck.
Yeah. What about all my photos on my zip disks?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what the right answer is. Well, the other question is, how much do we preserve all of it? Do we preserve none of it? I mean, do you, right? Like, all of that stuff. There's a world where saying storing it in the cloud is potentially the most future-proofed, because, well, in that, if it's managed and somebody checks on it, at least once a year, you're going to know if that cloud service is going away and you can move it somewhere else. And I think that's, and you can store it on your own cloud, right? I have all our photos slurped over to our, one of our Synology disk stations, and they're all just there. We could do things with them on there, but we don't really. I mean, I have Synology photos pointed at the folder where they are because, it took 30 seconds to do that. But we don't really use that as anything, but that's where they all are, and they are indexed and, all of those things. So it is kept over there, and I keep that up to date. So it would be up to, my kids to, not just inherit that, but also inherit the headache of managing it, right? Yeah. But I think what we're saying here is, no matter where you store it, if it's stored digitally, it needs to be actively managed, or at the very least actively monitored, right? Because that way you're not going to get caught with, I stored all my photos on zip disks. Well, okay. Do you want me to throw those away for you, or you want to do that first?
Right. Yeah. How many people have gotten rid of their Bitcoin by throwing that disk away?
I have friends. Yeah, I've got stories. Yeah, we all do, I'm sure. Yeah.
So, one of the ways I do it, and I haven't done this intentionally yet, so I need to fix that, I know, but I have, not thumb drives. Geez, don't get old. It's bad if you remember. What's the name of the card? The little card you slide into
SD cards.
Thank you. SD cards that I have on the, the various electronic frames, that sort of thing. So I have a lot there, but I don't have like the entire library. The advantage of that SD card and the little electronic photo frame is those are, generally speaking, the photos that I would want to keep, and not the many thousands of superfluous crap that seems to find its way onto your disk. So that'd be another way. Put it on SD cards and throw it in your fireproof safe.
Yeah. Well, but
again, that will decay. If
it will degrade, right? But I mean, probably at some point.
So it will. It definitely will. Well, yes. I have had photos decay that have not been looked at in 20 years, and I went back and like all the color was gone from one. I was like, ooh. Fortunately, a friend of mine actually had the original color and was able to replace it for me. But it was, it was something that couldn't be replaced.
I will add, like, there is a world, and I don't know why I don't do this, and it's maybe worth doing. There's many ways to also get physical copies of those still. Like, so it's probably worth like going through your library and like plucking out a few dozen of your absolutely, like, stuff you really want to keep and sending them over to Walmart and just having them physically printed out. It's not that expensive anymore. You can still do it. And you can throw them in an album and put it on the shelf, and, and even better yet, there's services that still are still out there where you could just send them digitally and have a nice bound book made, and leave that kind of a legacy. And, so just
Photos
another
used to have
form.
that option. I don't even know if it does anymore.
Photos does not anymore. We've done them with Shutterstock, and I'll put a link to that in the notes. But they're not the only ones, But Shutterstock absolutely, they've got all different formats, and there's something to be said for this of doing. I mean, what about this? I mean, this is a great question because obviously you're hearing us sort of think about this in real time. It's not that expensive to do one of these books. So what if you do one a year?
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Pick out a few dozen of your best shots for the year, your favorite shots for the year, and just start a library. It's going to be a library of mostly dust collectors, right? Like we talked about e-waste earlier. This is simply waste, but it's space waste. It is smaller to preserve things digitally, but there are, and I mean, you could lose these, the fire could remove, all of that, but
and let me offer go ahead, Em.
Sorry, I was but like you said, Dave, they come in a lot of formats. So I'm sure there's somebody that just does a little 4x6 format. Yeah. You're not going to take a ton of space, and you do a couple dozen photos in there.
Absolutely. What about this idea? Because not only are we sharing or saving important photos, we're saving all the junk now too, right? I mean, most people don't filter through their photos and delete all the crap. We should. And if you've got a great system for doing that, feedback at macgeekgab.com. We all need it. But what about, even if you're not going to print a copy of those, the best pictures of the year, going through and marking those in your digital library and either making them into a digital album or even saving them to another folder somewhere. It's like, okay, these are the ones that whoever's doing the job, right? I or we have decided we would like preserved. You might not be preserving the ones that your kids would want. Maybe they should go through too. But yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Adam.
I got a really good tip for that now.
Okay, great.
Because I've been using for years in photos just the favorite button, right?
Yes.
I favorite my photos, all my favorite ones that I really love and I really like a lot. Take that one step further. If you've been doing that for your entire library, those are all in one big album, right? But we have smart albums. So you could create a smart album that says, okay, go in my favorites album and now filter that by year, basically. You do one for each, you'd create one smart album for each year, but you can just say, okay, everything from my favorites from, beginning of 2025 to the end of 2025. Beginning of 20, and you just do one for each. And now it's pretty much automated.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Well, yeah, the only part that's not automated is you choosing favorites, right? But
that's easy.
It is easy, but you have to, it requires intention. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to offer the other thing that, and now all of our parents are gone except my mother-in-law now, but that was every year always a favorite gift to them was those photo books that we were talking about. I'm not sure the kids would be as happy to get that as a gift as opposed to a new iPhone, but
not
Christmas.
Yet.
But
not yet. But yeah.
But that for those wondering about a Christmas gift, a simple gift like that is always a hit. It always was a hit with the in-laws and the parents and grandparents and such. So
yeah.
Do your Christmas shopping early, folks. It's almost October.
That's right. That's right. It'll be here before you know it. Yeah. I saw somebody, it was one of those memes or whatever, but it's like, I walked into Walmart and I feel like they want me to eat turkey and put up my Christmas decorations with my Halloween costume on.
Right.
So, yep, they're selling it all at once. That's it.
I forget what year, but I bet within a week or two, walk into a Lowe's and you'll see Christmas trees up.
Oh, I bet
this
you're
is
right.
September. Yeah.
Yeah,
It blows my mind how early they go with it. It's like, come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously this conversation, we were running way ahead of schedule on this show.
Fixed that, didn't we?
I was actually wondering if we were going to finish before the hour marker was up. And yes, we fixed that, which is fine. I love when we have, this is one of my favorite parts of the show is when we can just have this conversation. Yeah, exactly. But you're a part of this conversation, folks. So let us know. Feedback at macgeekgab.com. What of this sparked an idea in you, and more importantly, what was that idea? Because this is going to be important. It already is important. The importance of this will become more and more relevant as time goes on. So yeah, more apparent, I guess, as time goes on. Yeah. All right. Make sure you sign up for our giveaway, macgeekgab.com/giveaway. Get that Unify gear. It's good stuff. I'm loving the UCG Max. I just want the UCG Fiber. It won't change anything about my life right away, but I want it. So, because it will, down the road, it'll be important to have more bandwidth. So go sign up for that giveaway so you can get it before me. Our thanks to CashFly for providing all the bandwidth, speaking of, to get the show from us to you. And if this wasn't enough, you can listen to more Adam on the Debut Film Podcast, more Pete on So There I Was, and more me on Business Brain and Gig Gab. All of those are linked from the show notes at macgeekgab.com. And really, go sign up at macgeekgab.com for the emails that we send you. We don't spam you. We send out stuff, including the show notes with all the links, so you don't even have to visit the website. You've got it all right there. And so that's my ask. That the favor would be click on our sponsors and see if there's something there that interests you. But simply visiting them, that's our job, is to encourage you to visit them and learn more. Whatever happens after that is between you and them. And we do still protect your privacy in that regard. So, that's what we got. Yeah.
They're doing something for you. They're bringing you the show.
It's true. Yeah.
So-
yeah. Them and all of you who are part of our premium
supporters.
Yeah. Yeah.
who rock.
Yep. Fun stuff. Yes, thank you. All right. Adam, you've been a little sassy today. You have any words to add?
Yes. Don't get caught.
I love it. Later.